What is going on? Phil here, and welcome to another private react video for Slayer for the month of August 2023. This month we're doing something different. Slayer, you have sent me a variety of videos from what I believe is to be one of your biggest national celebrations that you do once a month in August. Is that correct? In Singapore. Looking at these clips that we're about to watch, it makes me feel like this is the equivalent of like the Americans or United States Independence Day, only it's the Singaporean version. You know, there's aerial displays, there's fireworks, there's music, there's parades, there's politicians coming in and saying stuff, there's all kinds of, you know, military shows of force. Really exactly what we do around here in the United States as well, around our own independence celebration. So there's a lot of clips here, and this react video is going to be 90 minutes long this month, so it's extra long this month. We'll see if I get through all the videos. What I will do is hit play and just let it ride, and if I need to pause to say anything, I will. But being that there is so much to get through, I'm just going to try to let it play, you know, in real time. I've actually made a playlist of all of these clips ahead of time so that we can kind of just play right through them without any interruption or me getting confused about what's the next video or anything like that. I know a lot of this will probably be in the native language of Malaysia, which I believe is pronounced Malay, but there's some English as well. You know, I think all the voiceovers and like narrators and stuff will be in English. Also, pretty funny, I hit play and I watched about a minute of the first video, and then I realized my mic was muted. I was like, oh, oops. So I'm starting over technically, but only about a minute. It's not like it's not like I've watched all of the content or anything. This will be a very honest first-time reaction for me, outside of that minute that I've seen. So, all right, without further ado, let's let it ride. Let's see what happens here.
And off they go, Singapore's iconic Red Lions, a crowd favorite, judging by the reaction here at the Marina Bay floating platform. They are back for this year's NDP, falling from a height of some 10,000 feet or about 3 kilometers. This is teamwork at its most precise and heart-stopping.
Pretty interesting.
Into formation now,
what I would
John,
think is this is tricky. Let me lower this a little bit. What I would think is that this is pretty tricky. Because how do you practice this? Every time you practice it, it's expensive because you have to dive to actually practice this in midair, right? So could you imagine trying to do this and perfect it? Probably very challenging and time-consuming and expensive. I believe these are all military personnel. They're actually experts at what they do, and they would actually do this, like skydive in if they needed to do a military operation. So this is part military, but part also kind of a national celebration. I like the little red fireworks that got coming off, the red smoke to show where they are in the air for the crowd.
And everyone there hoping to get a great shot of the falling Red
I wonder
Lions.
if I wonder if the national color of Singapore is red, because a lot of them are wearing red, the Red Lions, right? It's all red. I wonder if that's the big, like, pride color. For us, it's red, white, and blue here in the United States. It looks like white and red for Singapore, huh? Okay. That's cool. They're all color coordinated. The whole crowd.
It's great weather today. Very little cloud cover.
I'll
They're going to have a fantastic sight. But you know what, John? The money shot for them is when those Red Lions make their way down to the floating platform, to the promenade, and that is where they will make their landing. I mean, it's an insanely small target from the air.
It's like doing GTA 5 like I did the other night when I had to land on
this team
tiny target.
Would have to be as they focus right now on the goal. There you see
what a view.
How small the target is for them to be able to make out.
The target. What's the target?
And make a smooth landing as
that
well.
Red, like rectangular platform,
with the wind in their faces,
water? I don't know.
The buildings. It's really no small feat.
That is just an awesome view.
What a view the Red Lions have of Singapore, of us, all the way down there in the Bay Area, John. That is quite a view. We are right here in the center of Singapore's premier area.
It sounds like it's really loud, so I'm going to lower it a little bit.
And most of those same hotels forced to close during the pandemic since the easing of measures.
It's funny because you got these worldwide companies, HSBC and shit. We got all that in the United States too. It's all the same company.
Have a great view.
Alright, the first one coming in the land, maybe? Whoa, look at that giant, thing on top of those 3 buildings connected. It looks like it's like something like a business or like a hotel top. Maybe it has one of those
as an elite parachuter. Here he comes into the strip right now. Perfect landing.
What a landing.
So it was hard to see where they were targeting. There was just like a road. I thought it was like a colored target or something. It wasn't just a road.
Cheers from the crowd as they land. The second Red Lion now coming in, Master Warrant Officer Ng Chin Han. He's had 1,340 jumps.
1,340 jumps. Holy shit, that's a lot. This guy, a master of the skies.
They hover over the ground right before landing. great to see.
Now what happens if they screw up today? Is there like national embarrassment?
Just circling over the
Did they become incarcerated? Did they excommunicate them from the country? He misstepped.
First warrant officer Melvin Ho, one of the more experienced skydivers here today. 1,460 jumps.
1,460 jumps. Oh no, he fell. Oh, he did faceplant. Oh no, he did.
So speaking of experience, we've got...
He face planted and they cut away. Holy shit, they cut away when he face planted. That guy, he's landing on his butt. The other guy's face planted though. Is he alright? I hope so. Dude, they cut right away too. They didn't want to show that. They're like, nah. Wow. Alright, he's alright. He's gathering his parachute. See, that guy had a nice landing. That guy had a nice ass landing.
We've got First Warrant Officer Po Jing Song coming in now. 700 jumps.
A little high, no? Coming a little high?
Here he comes.
Oh god, that's really fast. Calm down, calm down. Okay, a little over the target, but it's all good. A little bit over, a little bit.
As you said, John,
you know,
they have to navigate their way very carefully down to this promenade. The landing strip is just meters long, so accuracy is key. Here comes number 7, second warrant officer Eugene Cho with 810 jumps.
810 jumps. Oh god. Oh, nice. Oh. Whoa, that was like super smooth. He was like sliding. He's like, whee. That was cool. They should give him like little roller skates. They could roll and they land. They go, ooh, yeah, styling.
Now here we have, getting ready to come in to the anticipation of the crowds, number 8 Master Warrant Officer Leonard Tan. And I just want to say, Don, I've got exclamation marks beside the number of jumps he's had. It's a whopping 3,000.
Nice, perfect touchdown. Perfect touchdown. So some of them, a lot more better touchdowns than others. That one or two had a little bit of a rough time, but the rest of them are doing pretty good.
At Marina Bay, and the crowd is just absolutely thrilled. Here comes number 9.
It's also probably annoying because they got that firework on their foot that they had to launch out when they were out there in the sky. It's probably annoying to land it with that on your foot.
620 jumps. Just navigating
620. So this person has like only a third of the person who had the most. Perfect. Very nice. Very good.
And bringing up the rear, third warrant officer Jeffrey Heng.
Jeffrey, oh!
50 jumps.
Oh no! Oh my God, is he okay?
All looking at our Red Lions as they enter the fray.
Oh my God, yo, he ate it so hard. Dude, is he all right? Oh my God, I think I was gonna watch something like that tonight. Holy shit, dude.
Back. How about that?
Is he alright? I can't tell. Are they giving a thumbs up? I can't see. It's too small. Oh my God.
Display.
Yo, hope he was alright.
At the Marina Bay floating platform.
Well, he had the least jumps of anyone. I think he needs a few more. Holy shit, dude. He shattered all the bones in his fucking legs. Bravery. Where is he? Is that him? Oh my God, a poor guy.
Standing shoulder to shoulder there to take their final applause from the crowd.
Well, that was actually way more exciting than I thought it was going to be. They were not all smooth landings, that was for sure. Holy shit, right?
They are an inspiration to the younger generation.
All right, so I'll continue on.
Please rise and welcome our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong.
So this is the Prime Minister, okay. I'm a little confused because I believe they have a Prime Minister and a President, and I have no clue what the difference would be between the two. Like, there's a Prime Minister of England, but they have a king or queen. But that's very different than having a Prime Minister and a President, so I don't know how the government works in Singapore. The escort of bike riders, interesting. What brand of bike is that, Suzuki? I just said that out of my ass, I don't know.
The arrival of Singapore's third Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong to the float at Marina Bay for this year's National Day
Parade. So they still mask up out there, huh? Literally no one in the United States masks up anymore except
the oath of office,
people who willingly choose to do so. But it's funny that he's doing it. You know, a lot of the crowd wasn't though, right? I guess again, it might be the same thing, it's your own choice.
Mr. Lee was sworn in for his 9th term of office.
9 terms, holy moly, I guess they like him.
Attending the National Day Parade
9 terms.
Prime Minister.
If it is democratic, I believe it is democratic.
Here in the background typically accompanies his arrival. It's the voice of Karine May singing Song for Singapore. The song first commissioned as the official theme for the 2010
Sea of Flags
Day Parade.
I hope he used the bathroom before he sat down because it's going to be a long day. There's an ad. There's an ad in the video. It's unavoidable. It's actually part of the broadcast. Oh, wait, this isn't an ad. Oh, this is part of the video. Oh, never mind. I thought it was an actual ad. Whoops.
Good afternoon, Task Force Commander, sir. Good afternoon. What is the situation now? The police coast guard has detected hostile forces entering our waters.
Hostile forces entering Singaporean waters. I wonder who they think would invade them. I'm just curious. I don't know anything about the geopolitical forces in that area of the world. I wonder who they would think would be their enemies who would try to, like, invade them. Like here in the United States, everyone hates us. So like literally, it could be like Canadians are coming over to hit us with hockey pucks and fucking pour syrup on our heads, or who knows? Everyone hates America, so like, and anyone could invade us at any time, and we wouldn't be surprised. But I wonder who actually wants to invade Singapore.
Republic of Singapore Navy to Task Force Commander. We have identified hostile forces entering Singapore territorial waters. Roger. Dispatch Republic of Singapore Navy assets to investigate.
Look to your right as intruders on jet skis enter Marina Bay.
Uh-oh. Intruders on jet skis.
Closing in fast on the intruders are the combatant craft medium vessels from the Republic of Singapore Navy. These highly maneuverable craft can quickly execute changes of direction while chasing down intruders at high speed.
Reminds me of the Universal Studios as a kid. They had the Water World show over the water, and it was actually guys on jet skis and people went to fight them and stuff in the water.
Watch as they give chase and apprehend the intruders.
So these are supposed to be intruders, right? Invading Singaporean space. So who's gonna come after them? Here they come. Those assholes. No, don't shoot them in real life. Come on, it's just a show of force. It's not real. They're really shooting them. What the hell is this? Oh, those are duds. Wait a minute. Like, wait, I was supposed to be showing off. What are those live rounds? Oh my god. The GTA, right? You're trying to think, what game have you done this in? Probably GTA. Riding the boat, shooting at each other with full auto weapons. Get that asshole.
Singapore Navy to Task Force Commander. Intruders neutralized. Roger that. Good work. We'll receive new orders to defend our homeland from further aggression. Republic of Singapore Navy, stand by to insert naval divers into the area of operations. Roger.
I forget what that chopper's called. I used to know the names of all these choppers back when I worked at the helicopter company. That's been a very long time, so I don't remember anymore.
From the Republic of Singapore Air Force, with advanced avionics and improved cargo handling capabilities, the CH-47F
The CH-47
with a robust lift capability for a wide range of operations. The pilot is flying with great precision, hovering just 3 meters above the waters to execute the helocast operation.
The helocast operation. What will they do?
Naval divers are trained for maritime special operations, including underwater security operations, underwater explosive ordnance disposal, and maritime counterterrorism.
They fly real close. Whee! Deploy the mermen, the fishmen.
The naval divers are now infiltrating the area of operations.
That's baloney. This is stock footage. This is not live.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there we go.
watch as our
This is
naval
live.
divers make their re-entry from the stage in front of you. True to the motto of the Naval Diving Unit, nothing stands in their way.
Go, go, go.
Republic of Singapore Air Force, this is Task Force Commander.
Alcohol and lens tissue? Look at that. It says on the sign there.
Roger. Scramble F-16 to secure airspace.
Look to the skies as we see 4 F-16s from the Republic of Singapore Air Force approach Marina Bay. Our F-16s will fly past each other at close range, showcasing precision and team excellence. Presenting the Double Shackle.
Whoa.
Task Force Commander, this is the Republic of Singapore Air Force.
Dangerous, right?
Excellent work.
Pretty fancy.
Singapore Army, this is Task Force Commander. Stand by to conduct precision strikes in area of operations. Roger. High mobility artillery rocket system ready for deployment.
On the promenade in front of you is the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System,
also
known as the HIMARS.
Big boys.
With its precise firepower and enhanced responsiveness, the HIMARS is capable of engaging multiple targets on the battlefield. Watch as our HIMARS simulate the execution of a long-range precision strike.
It's called shock and awe, folks. Shock and awe. Foosh. Of course, they were fake. That was completely staged. Not going to use live rounds with the crowd.
Republic of Singapore Air Force, this is Task Force Commander. Stand by to conduct air
Sushi.
Roger. Fighters en route. Time over target. ETA 10 seconds.
Look to the skies as our F-16s reappear above us. This time, the pair of F-16s will simulate a bombing run over the Marina Bay area. Watch as they showcase their maneuverability by executing a high-G combat turn.
Oh. Woo. The announcer was very excited about that, by the way. High G combat turn. Yeah. Woo.
Our two F-16s will now simulate the exit from the bombing run by executing a vertical climb. Also their way of wishing Singapore continued progress and prosperity above all!
That is one epic narrator. He's really excited. Oh crap, my controller batteries are low. Oops. Alright. Let's change this now before we have a disaster in the middle of something exciting else going on. Hold on, let me swap this out. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Okay. There we go. Much better.
Swift and decisive victory.
Some epic
Ladies and
maneuvers.
gentlemen, look to your left as two AH-64D Apache Longbow helicopters are about to approach the Marina Bay airspace. The Apaches are one of the most formidable attack helicopters with a wide array of weapon systems. Equipped with an advanced targeting system, the Apache can outsee, outmaneuver,
All right.
and outshoot their adversaries.
So now they got the
in
Apache
day
helicopters
and
coming in.
conditions.
Which I believe are American helicopters. That's why Apache. They were Native Americans.
Watch them showcase their aerial agility as they perform the Apache combat attack maneuver, simulating an attack on their target.
That's crazy. You fly that high up that fast? Damn.
Following closely on land are our Leopard 2 SG main battle tanks.
Jeez. They got a little of everything, huh? A little of this, a little of that.
In
Some of that
operations,
razzle-dazzle.
our Apaches and Leopard 2 SGs work hand in hand to detect and destroy a wide range of land targets.
Yeah, they got some pretty crazy missiles they could launch out of
Our
those
L2
things.
SGs will now perform an assault on their objectives.
Probably, again, they probably fired a dud. They're not going to fire live rounds with the crowd there. So it looks like we're aiming. No, they're not. They're, you know, it's simulated. And then there's the explosion they timed out there to time to make it look like they shot it. It'd be pretty crazy to actually use live rounds in front of the crowd like this and risk their lives if going wrong. Oh, this one's fast. It's like a zippy little tank. It's fully digitalized, really.
With enhanced capabilities to operate more effectively on the battlefield.
Yeah, look, it's very maneuverable.
The variants you see in front of you are equipped with anti-tank guided missiles capable of taking out other armored threats.
Huh.
Watch as they will now demonstrate their firepower.
Johnny 5 the tank. It's exactly the same spot that where the explosions were before. It's definitely staged. I like that though. digital tank that can take out other tanks. It's fast.
Entering the
Cool.
promenade are the Terex infantry carrier vehicles. These vehicles provide infantry forces with enhanced protection, mobility, and firepower in the battlefield. Watch as our infantry troopers exit their vehicles. Keep your eyes on them as they move out the gallery in a tactical formation, simulating the securing of an objective.
Hey, I'm pointing at the crowd.
Our infantry troopers are equipped with the SAR-21 assault rifle and are wearing the new load-bearing system.
SAR-21 assault rifle.
Is a modular load-bearing and protection vest designed for better heat dissipation.
The SAR.
To allow our soldiers to be
Oh yeah, the SAR. I've used that in Call of Duty before. The SAR. I totally have. Oh, shit, that's gonna be loud, man. Yeah, look, there's people in the crowd like, fuck. They're right next to me. What are you doing, asshole? It's so loud.
Entering from both sides of the promenade are our light strike vehicles. Watch as these highly maneuverable vehicles perform a high-speed crisscross maneuver in front of you. In addition to their mobility, the light strike vehicles are also equipped with weapon systems to destroy enemy targets.
These are the fast movers. They're not have they're no armor, but they have a bunch of good weapons on them. But they're very vulnerable. Look, wow, we managed to hit exactly the same spot for like the 20th time.
Always ready, ready to strike.
Are they now? Are they always ready to deploy at a moment's notice? With no delay in case something happens?
Sir, all threats neutralized. Mission.
What are you talking about? I was in the bathroom the whole time. What did I miss?
Good job, thank you.
Good. All this is good job, thank you. That's it. Wow. Such praise. How many were lost? You know, what kind of you know, what are the casualties? What's the damage done? No, good job, thank you. Carry on. Well, they bought it. They actually believed I was the commander. What a bunch of suckers. He walks away. Wow. That's pretty interesting to see these shows of force. What's this now?
Military Expert 5 Stephen Tan Eki and Band Drum Major Military Expert 2 Mohammed Hafiz bin Amron and
Marching band? Yeah, we have stuff like this all the time in the United States.
Is formed by the
Marching
combined
band,
band from
military
the
marching
SAF
bands.
and SPF bands. The virtual marching bands you will see on the screen are formed by students from Yishun Town Secondary School, Swiss Cottage Secondary School,
discipline
Yuying Secondary
to
School,
do this.
and Bukit
Synchronized
Panjang
marching
Government
and
High School.
performance.
And the virtual choir is formed by students from Fuhua Secondary School and Kent Ridge Secondary School. Also joining the performance is the SAF Silent Precision Drill Squad.
Some 1,300 participants from 36 virtual and physical contingents make up this year's parade and ceremony. And kicking things off is the military tattoo.
So this year,
hear them perform.
oh, it's interesting. It's different schools. Some of these are high school kids. Actually, I don't know the difference between high school and secondary school in Singapore. I don't even know what we call secondary school here in the United States, if we even call it that. Because we have elementary school, then we have preschool, elementary school, and then we have high school.
As if performing and
I
playing
don't
tune
even know.
together
I'm
weren't
confused now.
enough
Even
for
I'm
the
confused
John-
myself. I don't
John,
remember.
the
Oh, look at
band
that.
beginning to form up the outline of the
Oh, that's
heartlands.
cool. They form different
Also
landmarks.
turn your attention
That's quite neat,
to
actually.
the screens, the large screens at the back of this stage, this mammoth stage. Part of the novelty of this
Parts.
stage setup
Look at that.
is the multimedia aspect of it. There is the virtual band there joining in as well.
There's a lot of discipline to it, right? To do this. A lot of practice. Pomp and circumstance, they call it. Yes.
The voices now of a virtual choir formed by students from Fuhua Secondary School and
the virtual choir, pre-recorded.
The combined band transforming to show the words of I love SG and home, signifying the love of our nation, a place we call home.
Very patriotic, beautiful. Seems like, I mean, of course, this is meant to be an event that's very patriotic, where the country's kind of in solidarity. But I'm curious how they're doing over there in Singapore. If mostly most of the people who live in the country are happy. Like here in the United States, we've had many years of unrest and a lot of civil stuff going on. You know, protest against police brutality and our government in general. Real big disagreements in our government. You know, left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. A lot of people are at odds constantly. So it's actually interesting to see something like this, because I remember stuff like this from when I was a kid, and I wonder, you know, in Singapore, do you have that same stuff, right? Is it like a lot of dissent in the way things are run, or most people just pretty much like how it's run, and there's not a lot of stuff like that, you know? And plus, you gotta understand, in the United States, we have freedom of expression completely, even though some people disagree with it, how extreme that goes. Like, we have protests, but then the protests turn into riots, and the riots destroy businesses in cities and ruin areas of the country, and it's like, is that okay? And there's not really an agreement on it, right? So I wonder, to what extent can people actually express themselves in other countries outside the U.S.? What's allowed, what's not? Seems like it was friggin' everything allowed here in the United States about 3 years ago, which was pretty bad when innocent businesses were being destroyed constantly.
The strength of our nation.
What the heck was that? You know, sparkler spray things. Huh. Okay. Attention! What do you say? Attention? Yeah, like something, you know, attention or something about their arms, present arms in a certain way. Forward march! Hop, 2, 3, 4, hop. So I believe it is an intergender military force, correct? I believe there are male and female involved here.
From both sides are the 3 SAF contingents from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, together with the Singapore Police Force and the Singapore Civil Defense Force.
Civil Defense Force, that would also mean police. So it's not just the military, there's police here too. Pretty disciplined for police, wow. Serious business. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not a co-gender police force. Wait, no. Yeah, I think it is, because I think I do see some women in there. Mixed in there.
Joining the march in on stage now, our social and economic groups, followed by contingents from a number of our uniformed youth organizations.
Social and economic groups as well as youth organizations. Yeah. I wonder what these are. Companies or something? I don't know. Never heard of any of them. Plus the camera's panning so you can't read anything. Just stop panning for a second.
And we got used to connecting with co-workers and loved ones in cyberspace
during
the pandemic, meeting people virtually.
Singapore Families for Life, like they're showing all the different groups.
And so also with us,
airlines, the airlines
the virtual contingents from the socio-economic sector standing shoulder to shoulder. And together they represent our resolve to defend our country.
That's kind of neat. You'll never see that in the United States. You never see, like, American Airlines go out there with a group dancing and shit like this, you know. Never would you see that. No. Absolutely not. Who? What are they doing? They're about to do something.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade commander, accompanied by servicewomen from the Women Police Pipes and Drums from the Singapore Police Force Band, will now take over command of the parade from the Parade Regimental Sergeant Major.
Bagpipes. That's usually a
the parade commander
Scottish
is taking
thing.
charge of the parade right now from the Parade Regimental Sergeant Major. Today, the parade commander is Lieutenant Colonel N.S. Desmond Fu Yun Jie. He's accompanied by servicewomen from the Women Police Pipes and Drums from the Singapore Police Force Band. And they, of course, have been around since 1972. These musicians are also full-time police officers, and they performed not just in Singapore, but overseas as well.
They're in harmony.
Indonesia,
nice.
Japan, and Australia.
Go for that sword. It's very sharp. Watch me swing that thing. Oh! No, they would never do that. They're actually trained. They're professional. They're disciplined. Even if he did accidentally nick his face, he would act like it never happened.
John, you mentioned 1972.
It's nice. I like bagpipe music. It's actually nice, relaxing.
The Women Police Pipes and Drums Band. It was formed with a pioneer group of just 30 women, and as you mentioned, they are known around the world for their talent and often invited for official occasions.
That was nice. That sounded very nice. I like that. Oh, just goes right at... Wow. The two videos link together perfectly. No idea what they're saying. There they go.
Marching onto the stage now, 36 regimental colors. The colors party comprises ensigns who are commissioned officers. They are escorted by specialists or military experts.
Synchronized arm swinging, which I'm sure they're forced, well, not forced, but they're made to practice incredible amounts to synchronize that. Perfectly upheld flags. Look at that. No waver to them. They're completely straight up. Tons of practice.
The Colors Regimental Sergeant Major is Military Expert 3 O Kok Seong, Regimental Sergeant Major, 1st Combat Support Hospital.
Marching in now are the 3 state colors. The colors are escorted by the 4 Guard of Honor contingents. Those contingents today proudly formed by the Singapore Army, the Republic of Singapore Navy, the Republic of Singapore Air Force, and the Singapore Police Force.
I don't know much about Singapore and its surrounding, like geography. I wonder if they have more air, sea, or land forces. I wonder if they need more, like, for example, if they're bordered by a lot of water, I'm sure they need a lot more Navy, right? I wonder.
Now for the presidential gun salute to the right of the floating platform. We now see the soldiers from the 24th Battalion Singapore Artillery on board the M3.
Wow, they're on boats. I didn't even realize they were on boats for a second. Now I rotating them around like that. It's like barges, big barges.
The 35th Battalion Singapore Combat Engineers.
Shit! Can you imagine? Can you imagine the tremendous amount of practice and discipline to do that perfectly in sync for that extended period of time, not get tired, and never be off a beat or anything, right? Like, no one screwed that up. You saw that was perfectly synced. Again, very similar to what they do here in the U.S. It's just, you know, they're doing it in their Malay language, so I don't really know exactly what the commands mean, but... So they're different commands, and they have to answer the commands.
This year's parade also commemorates 55 years of national service. The parade is led by Parade Commander Lieutenant Colonel N.S. Desmond Fu Yunjie, Commanding Officer, 328 Singapore Combat Engineers.
Okay. So are they actually going to march now and go somewhere, or how does it work?
To our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong.
Oh, here he comes, the Prime Minister, right?
The Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Hsien Loong, there, making his way to the podium to receive the compliments from the parade. Last year, as he walked these steps, the Prime Minister, as well as most of those taking
He's very spry and agile for an older man. He didn't need a railing or anything to get down those stairs. If that was our president, he'd probably go tumbling down face first. Picking his pieces up off the stairs.
It's been just 4 months since the Prime Minister addressed the nation about the new normal in the battle against COVID-19. Now, even as we crest one wave, more challenges have emerged. The rising cost of living and increasingly complicated geopolitics both warranting mention in the PM's National Day message. But just as Singaporeans are stronger together during the pandemic, so too for the storms of tomorrow.
Wonder how things were during the pandemic over there. Being that they are a lot more strict with the way that they operate in Singapore compared to the United States. You know, in the United States, it was a mess. Some states were very, very strict on how they did things like lockdowns and vaccines, and others were very lax. So with no consistency throughout our country, there was no way we were ever going to nip that thing and take care of it. And we didn't. Like, it was a mess. It took years and years for it to eventually clear up. So I wonder how they did over there in Singapore, right? Like, how were things and how different was it? And how effective was their tactics? Ooh. So, deaf music and Singapore Sign Language. Deaf arts and music performer. Stronger together. Well, it's not bad. It's not a bad song at all. Very uplifting. Inspirational. Wow. Emotional. So I'm sorry, they lost their energy, doesn't it? They're like, all right, this song's too long. Either that or the O's are just kind of boring. They actually were. It was better, and all of a sudden they started singing O as a refrain. It was kind of boring. It was better before they started singing the O's. Like a phoenix from the flames, we will rise up. It's pretty inspirational, man. Doesn't matter what happens to us or how bad we burn down, we will rebuild stronger than before. Not bad. That's not the national anthem, right? But that's still like an inspirational song they sang. Interesting. I mean, that's even more pertinent now that, you know, after COVID and everything, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the arrival of our president, Madam Halima.
See, so now they have a prime minister and a president. So what's the difference in the political roles between the two? If the president comes second, it sounds to me like the president's almost more important, right? And again, I believe there's democratic elections there, correct? And the prime minister I've been reelected 8 times. He's nine terms. What about the presidents over there? Here we have very strict term limits. You can't keep getting re-elected after, I think, the second time. That's it.
President Halima Yacob arrives for the grand occasion in traditional red and white, the colors of Singapore. It's the 5th time she's attended this event as Singapore's president. She's also the first female president in Singapore's history.
Oh, really? Interesting. We have not yet to have a female president here in the United States. A lot of people thought Hillary Clinton was going to do it. Nope. That did not happen. Is this the national anthem? It sounds more like the national anthem now. It would make more sense to do this when the president's there, too. Slayer gave me the translation for these lyrics, but I didn't pull it up. It's all good. Try to get it from what they're saying here. All these different divisions, right? It's pretty cool. Majula Singapura. And one thing I will notice, you notice how everyone in that crowd is dressed completely conservatively and respectfully. There is no one wearing like exposing clothing.
Ladies,
you know what I mean? Like they're all dressed like they really want to look nice for this national event. I wish that more people in the United States were like that, but you know, here it's again, do whatever the hell you want at all times and act like an asshole at all times. Here, these people are very respectful of their country. They want to present themselves well.
Message for Singapore.
Good to see you, Singapore. Happy 57th birthday. Majula.
Now get ready for a spectacular bomb burst in a salute
It's
to
the
the
57th
nation.
birthday of Singapore, huh?
And here they come.
Nice. Where'd they go? Shit! I lost them. expensive planes. We can't be losing those. Come on, man. Get them back in the shot. Every minute counts here. Okay, yeah, these are all
Madam President,
in a row.
The parade is formed up and ready for inspection, ma'am.
Oh, inspection. She's gonna inspect them, huh? You have a smudge on your suit. Shh. Your uniform is a disgrace. You were eating milk duds, melted chocolate right there on the pot.
The president.
Yeah, she's definitely higher up than the prime minister.
Inspect the parade, and you'll hear there, as a mark of respect, the 25-pounder guns positioned on the M3G raft that is firing in salute to the president.
This is also known as the Presidential Gun Salute, the highest honor that can be conferred, normally reserved for the head of state. Now, the salute is fired from a weapon known as the 25-pounder. You can clearly hear, even at home, the power of those cannons each time they fire.
So you're saying even if you're in Singapore, anywhere, you still hear those cannons because they're so powerful, huh? That's kind of cool.
Closer to the audience here, the salute honors the president in a formal way while she prepares to inspect the Guard of Honor contingents.
Say something to her. Something ceremonial. Do you think if she actually saw something that was like bad or disrespectful, that she'd be like, "What are you doing?" She's just trying to be nice, trying to just talk to them.
Not forget, no small feat to stand at attention for lengthy periods in this heat.
That's true. As Slayer's told me, the Singapore is very warm, so they're in these full uniforms for like an hour or more. You know, I'm sure they were in it for hours before this. They had state attention, standing there, probably drenched in sweat. God, I hope I don't sneeze or something when the president comes by.
The Guard of Honor, who has invited her to review the contingents. The tradition made more significant this year as we celebrate 55 years of national service. Since the introduction of NS back in 1967, generations of national servicemen have served with unwavering dedication, pride.
You know the food sucked? I don't know why they can't improve the catering here. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to complain to the president. Shit.
And the public, they've all supported our national
oh boy, I'm in trouble.
So that they can serve with peace of mind.
Those guns continuing to rock the floating platform. From the earliest times, people have used noise to express joy or to show honor, as seen in acts like the display of fireworks. And when modern artillery came along, it was then possible to do this in a more formal
So I wonder if this is... Oh, wow, he is drenched in sweat. I wonder if this is scripted. Right? Like it was scripted that she would specifically talk to those three people and they were warned ahead of time? Or if she just grabs random people? I feel like it's scripted. Like they knew that they were going to be the ones that she was going to talk to. Okay, I mean, if you're talking to the president, you got to be ready, right?
0.454 kilos. It's just gunpowder, really. The gun only fires blanks now. It's unable to fire live ammo. The caliber of the 25-pounder is 87.6 millimeters, and that cannon, it's heavy, 1,800 kilograms in weight.
Well, I didn't like her answers. 3 demerits for her. Don't tell her I said that, though. Alright, now what?
Madam President, may I have your permission to proceed with the parade, ma'am?
They sure make him kiss his sword a lot. Holy moly.
Cheers and applause for President Halima from the audience. And of course, during the pandemic, Madam Halima, a steadfast supporter of our healthcare workers and caregivers, those who are very well known. She's praised their resilience and tireless efforts to protect the most vulnerable among us.
The crowd waving, flags high, smiles from the crowd, and a good wave back from the president as well. What a sight to see. Singapore's diversity on show as well, John.
It's cool. It's like a nice peaceful flag waving to celebrate. It's kind of nice.
This crowd here, 25,000 people strong. A chance to get to see the president up close and in public for such a treasured national celebration.
Again, you know, at least at this gathering, it seems like all their leaders are very beloved, right? Like, beloved by the people. Here, it's like a mix. Like, some people really love our leaders, some hate their guts.
So we'll now execute the Feu de Joie, or Fire of Joy, to celebrate our nation's birthday.
Okay, the Fire of Joy.
Akan tembak Feu de Joie. Isikan peluru.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Isikan lagi.
Pretty cool.
Isikan lagi.
The gun salute.
Senja. Ha. Kawalan kehormatan. Russo. Senja. Ha.
Ha. The salute is over. What's next? Oh.
If it's not for this whole NDU experience, I wouldn't have as much resilience as I once had.
NDU?
Going through a lot of tough trainings. There's always one person smiling.
That's so true. You do everything together. It's like a family.
It builds that bond that I know that I'm not the only one.
I see national service as a call to citizenship duty.
You have to understand the purpose that's very clear. Because if you don't know why you're doing this national service, then no amount of motivation can help.
Before we had Esther, it was you serving in NS. I was also serving in my capacity as a doctor. After having a baby, things really changed. Yeah, it definitely got difficult at times, especially with a newborn baby, and I was postpartum and we had to go back to reservice. I really learned that we're all serving national service here.
Trust between the pilots and the ground crew is very important. We rely on seniors and the older generation to actually guide us and to train us to be better Air Force engineers.
The guy that launching me is most probably a 20 years old NSF. When he launched me, right, my life actually depends on him. Without this trust, if this trust is broken, right, it's very difficult to get the job done.
We call it forging our tribe.
Yeah.
My mom wanted me to be a police officer. She actually wanted to work as a police officer, but she couldn't. I ended up going to the police, and that also fulfilled her ambitions through me. I enjoy what I do during my NS and reservist.
If he needs to go for the NS leave, this is something that we all have to support. Knowing that the next person is operational ready, that's very, very important to me. When the moment they get activated, we have to let them go.
Yeah, Slayer was telling me about this, that you have to always be trained to be in reserve activation, and every once in a while people are getting activated out of the populace, and you have no say. You're going if you get activated. That's part of being a Singaporean, and that's interesting. The way they do that is not like that in the United States. Unless we have a draft for a war, we don't have to do any kind of service like that whatsoever.
I'm very happy because it's a very meaningful NS appointment.
He's a role model to me because he shows some good example. I can look up to him. So every time when he at work busy, then go back home, he spend time with me, my family.
I'm proud that
You doing all this just for our family. I won't be like you actually.
Touch it.
Okay. I'm always by your side.
Oh. Now I'm tearing up. How touching. How am I supposed to watch the rest when I'm blubbering like a baby over the parental bond of a father and son? Come on, man. You can't be doing that to me. I'm not even Singaporean and I'm tearing up. This is not fair. I'm very upset. How dare you? How dare you play that inspirational music when that happened too, to make me feel even stronger.
Past and present, to please stand and receive a salute from the parade.
Standing up to receive a salute, standing up to receive the crowd's applause, but at its core, standing up for Singapore. What a moving show of appreciation for our national servicemen. And for the men standing up at home, we see you, and we offer a deep thank you from us.
Weren't they supposed to stand up? Some people didn't. Why not? Or they couldn't hear him. Oh, very nice. Fireworks. Probably got a couple more videos left in this.
Baris akan berjalan keluar dalam masa cepat. Kawalan kehormatan dahulu. Kawalan kehormatan ke kanan. Yang lain ke kiri dan ke kanan po. Sing!
So I think this was probably the end of the military presentation. From what Slayer told me, there's also musical stuff that they do, and there's fireworks and stuff too. But he wanted to focus on the military stuff, which is fine. Quite frankly, the musical stuff probably would get claimed and blocked on YouTube. Let's be honest. YouTube is not very nice when it comes to this musical stuff these days.
Of honor contingents now. Colors have a long history. They date back to the early 17th century. Some history for you about why colors have significance. They originated as a form of identification in battle. Unlike colors today, which bear a state or regimental crest, these early flags were rudimentary banners of a single color, hence the term colors.
You know, colors became a source of morale and pride for soldiers. Men were inspired to keep fighting when they saw their flag.
Just as they came in, they leave.
High. And because of their symbolic importance, capturing an enemy's colors was considered a great honor, while losing one's colors was a severe humiliation. Hence, a group of soldiers, the Colors Party, was assigned to protect the colors whenever they were brought into battle.
John, today colors are no longer carried into battle, but they are still retained in modern armed forces. These are symbols of tradition and glory. Now, colors also bear the badges that commemorate the achievements of the regiment. The colors also help to promote cohesion, esprit de corps, and instill in the men of the unit a sense of pride and loyalty.
Like the music, it is nice. There they go. Perfect formation. Very similar to, like I said, to the United States stuff. Very similar, I would say. From stuff that I've seen around, you know, different Independence Day celebrations and parades and things like that. Again, the one thing that stood out was that the government is a little different over there, having both a prime minister and a president, and seeing how they have different roles, and that's kind of unique. And also to see that the military was, you know, had so many prominent roles that were both genders. It wasn't just like, oh, it's all men, which was for the longest time here in the American military. You know, that did change over time.
And as the march past goes across the floating platform, it is protocol for the spectators to stand in respect of the contingents. also perhaps a show of appreciation for all the hard work that they've gone through in preparation of this National Day Parade. And leading the march past is the parade
So the way that this works in their country is that you can get activated, and there's like a rotation of who has to be, you know, serving and who's not serving, and you have to every once in a while go into this training to make sure that you're at the ready if you're ever needed, if anything ever happens in the country. It's kind of interesting.
A lot of hard work has gone into this role today. The responsibility of leading the parade together with Master Warrant Officer Kelly Yo Kai Kiet, Regimental Sergeant Major of the parade.
Sheesh. Right, so much work, right? So much practice and work goes into this. Grueling. I bet it's very grueling to have to practice this at length and master
behind, 36 Regimental Colors of the SAF, together with the Colors Regimental Sergeant Major, Military Expert 3, Oh Kok Seong.
And coming up is the Army Guard of Honor contingent formed by the men from the Best Combat Unit, 1st Commando Battalion, led by Contingent Commander Major Louis So. Marching just behind the 2nd Guard of Honor contingent is the Navy Guard of Honor contingent. It's formed by the men of the Naval Diving Unit, led by Contingent Commander Major Cheng Chin-bun.
So the crowd gets a little military show for about an hour and a half. I believe then they get music, so it's like it's not just the same thing all night. It's not super boring. You know, you get a little bit of variety for being out there in the heat.
From the Air Power Generation Command, led by Contingent Commander Major Benjamin Ko Su-meng. And finally, the 4th Guard of Honor contingent is the Singapore Police Force Training Command contingent, formed by the men and women from the Police Training Command. They're led by Contingent Commander, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Raymond Chua.
"57 years," it said? 57 years last year. I guess this summer, in a few days actually, should be their next anniversary, right? So that'll be their 58th anniversary as a country. Interesting. I wonder what their history is. I have no idea. What were they called before Singapore? I forget. I knew once. I forgot though.
Services formed by the Army, Navy, Air Force, Singapore Police Force, and Singapore Civil Defence Force. First, we have the marching contingent formed by the Army, led by Captain Ryan Fushi Hao and Captain Xiao Jingyi.
Next are the contingents formed by the Republic of Singapore Navy, led by Military Expert 4,
Navy, naval officers.
And the Republic of Singapore Air Force, led by Captain Neo Chun Ting. Coming up, the contingents formed by the Singapore Police Force, led by Assistant Superintendent of Police Andy Lim Kian Wei, and the Singapore Civil Defence Force, led by Captain Elvin.
So I wonder the differences between the police and the Civil Defence Force. They sound the same, right? I wonder.
Following behind, the social and economic groups. First, the contingents from National Trade.
This is just so wild to see social economic groups marching in a military thing like this, because this would never happen in the United States. These groups would be independent and would have nothing to do with this. In fact, a lot of our companies that operate in the United States are very political and anti-establishment, anti-military. They are, actually. So. I wonder what these companies are. What do they do? Keppel? What's Keppel?
Close behind, the contingents formed by Singtel, led by Wong Wei Yong, and OSIM International Private Limited, led by Samuel Cheng Su Chu.
you go. Grab.
Contingents formed by Grab Holdings, led by Iskandar Abdullah.
Grab Holdings? Grab Holdings, that's a pretty convenient name, no? Get it? Get it.
Following behind, the various uniform groups leading them are the contingents formed by the National Cadet Corps.
The Cadet Corps do not get active arms. Instead, they have those ceremonial, appear to be like umbrellas or flags in their hands. They do not get, you know, rifles. They're just cadets.
And you saw there the contingents formed by St. John's Brigade, led by Corps Staff Officer Grade 5 Vincent Bong, and Singapore Red Cross Society, led by Cadet Officer Eric Lim Tia Ren. And there you see NPCC, led by Honorary Inspector Siddiq Amshar Shalan. The National Civil Defence Cadet Corps, led by Cadet Lieutenant Nazatul Amira Sarangan.
And next, the contingents formed by the Girls Brigade, led by Warrant Officer Ang Yipin.
Wow. Very young, huh? Probably teens, teenagers? Or maybe early 20s?
Now, ending the contingents from the uniformed groups today are Scouts Association, led by Venture Scout Ignatius Lee.
Now you get the Scouts, so they're not even cadets, they're just like Scouts.
Led by young adult Patricia Iza Binti Abdul Rahman. Proud day for these young people.
And wow, I just realized, dude, that band's been playing the whole goddamn time. Holy shit. Yo, they've been playing an hour straight? That's crazy. Well, good on them. Man, they've got to have crazy stamina and discipline. I had no concept they were playing the whole time. Holy shit. Wow.
For this evening's parade is
dude, they're going to be so exhausted. Give them a freaking break. Wow.
And they're led by band conductor, military expert 5, Stephen Tan Ek Ki. And band drum major, military expert 2, Jash Chua King Hui. And there you see senior staff sergeant Mohammed Faisal Banjuri.
How we doing? We're about just under an hour, 10 minutes. Not bad. I don't remember how many more videos there are in this. I knew that there was a bonus video that Slayer you might want to watch here. That actually is K-pop stuff, but I don't know if you can squeeze that in or not. We'll see. I mean, it depends. It's a 90-minute video. We still have 20 minutes, but I don't know how much is left here. Probably have time. Because again, I didn't pause. I just let it ride and talked over it, so it worked kind of well. Okay. That was a long one. Oh, okay. It's becoming evening now. It's much darker.
Multiple network intrusion attempts have been detected.
Oh no.
This seems like a coordinated attack.
I can tell because that's what the screen says.
We must not let them into our system.
On it. Most of the threats have been mitigated.
On it. Must make phone call to stop invasion.
We are still investigating.
What was that? Fire detected. Why would there be a fire from a cyber attack? They shut down the cooling system or something? That's kind of messed up, no? Especially if that's like a nuclear reactor or something. Damn. Who did this? Again, who would the Singaporeans? Who would they think would attack them? I'm curious. Do they have enemies who they think would want to attack them and do this kind of stuff? Like I said, in the United States, dude, anyone. I would believe if anyone attacked us, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. You know, everyone hates us. But I wonder what would be happening in Singapore. Who would be attacking them? There we go. This is what they would do. First thing they would do is play this very dramatic music, no matter what was going on. The perfect soundtrack for the people coming out to help.
Also known as the Red Rhino. Swift and nimble, both
no, someone passed out. Heat exhaustion.
During emergencies. Entering the promenade is the pump ladder, commonly known as the fire engine. It is the backbone
Whoa, look at that.
Line response against fire and rescue incidents.
Like that's a standard fire engine. That kind of looks very similar to the fire engines we have here. But that other vehicle was very different.
The fire bike Firefighters trained as emergency medical technicians have started stabilizing the casualty.
Did you just say they started stabilizing the casualty? The casualty means he died. What?
Informatics integrator on board the ambulance. Our paramedics are able to provide real-time updates of the casualty's condition.
Yeah, say it again, the casualty's condition. That's not how we use the term here in the United States. If they say casualty, it means you died.
Watch as they come together to extinguish the raging fire.
Wow, I haven't seen like firefighting technology in a million years. Pretty crazy how much they can spray now, right? Aerated. Interesting. It's interesting they're even showing this. Like, this is patriotic to them, you know? In the United States, that's just like, well, whatever. That stuff's just normal. But, you know, to them, this is very patriotic. So they have not only the best military, but they have the best health care, the best care of you who was wrong, too, right? Disaster relief, disaster support. Disaster reaction, I guess, whatever you call it. Oh, no, sticky gas.
We are the unmanned firefighting machine and the pumper firefighting machine. Remotely operated.
There we go. Deploy the anti-sticky gas vents. There we go.
Gas threat from a safe distance. Look to your right. Arriving on scene are the hazmat mitigation vehicle and the utility buggy. The hazmat mitigation vehicle transports our hazmat specialists and their equipment to the incident site, while the buggy enables swift evacuation of casualties.
That's a crazy-ass hazmat suit.
Machines have started their operations to disperse the hazardous gas.
Told you it was stinky gas. I know stinky gas when I see it. I'm an expert.
Tackle the gas threat. The gas leak has been successfully mitigated.
It has. I still see it. They're a little too excited. Getting ahead of themselves there.
Guys, you go see this active shooter in Singapore.
An active shooter.
Confirmed that a few gunmen have entered the building.
I wonder how often something like this happens, because again, shootings are very common in the United States at this point, which is very sad. They shouldn't be, but they are. They're all over the place all the time. I wonder how often they have a shooting in Singapore.
Officers from the Singapore Police Force are responding. We will bring you more updates as the situation unfolds.
What the fuck? Guy's gun jammed like 5 times.
On hearing the gunshots, the in-situ reaction team IRT from the Singapore Police Force have been activated. While waiting for more reinforcements to arrive, the IRT negotiates with the hostage taker to stall for time. Arriving to reinforce the team from both sides of the promenade are the Ground Response Force and Emergency Response Team.
Damn, just taking them right out.
The next tier of responders will now advance forward with a tactical assault. Watch as the Special Operations Command's armed strike team completely overwhelm the remaining gunmen.
Well, good thing that the hostage fought back there. Seriously. He fought back, and that's what created the space so they could take the guy out. So I'm gonna guess to Singapore that's a no nonsense. Like they probably have the freedom to do whatever they need to do to take out the threat. The United States, our cops, our police have been severely nerfed in the last 3+ years. A lot of major cities are having problems even doing basic stuff now because of what our government has done to our police force, which is unfortunate. I mean, I can get very political here and talk about it at length. I think there's a lot of reasons why it happened. Some are really bad, and something did have to happen with reform of our police force, but at the same time, I do think that the people and the government have a tendency to overreact and overextend what they need to do, and now we're in a pretty bad way. Even where I live, there's tons of crime and no one really does anything about it. Pretty bad. It certainly seems to me like here, they give them the authority to do what they need to do to stop the crime, or else why else would they be having this crazy display of how strong that their police force is, right? Like, right, I'm not even kidding you. If they did this in the United States right now, there would be, like, protests in the streets. How dare they advertise the police force? Seriously.
Based on what experts described as a perfect storm.
Bus hijack. Why would they hijack a bus? Pretty dumb thing to hijack.
Entering the promenade is a combined task force comprising the rapid deployment troops and fast response car from the Singapore Police Force and the peacekeeper response vehicles from the Army Deployment Force. They have been
the Army can help
to
if
block
needed.
the hijackers from proceeding further. Turn to your right as the hijacked bus races onto the promenade.
They shot the bus?
Our elite troopers from the Special Operations Task Force. You may want to cover your ears as they're about to make an explosive entry.
This would seriously never happen. Because they would say in the United States, number one, this is putting the passengers at too much risk, and number two, that this is escalating the situation. I'm serious. They would not allow our police to do what they just did. They'd be like, nah, that's an excess force, and they're not allowed to do that. There's no way they would let our police do what they just did there. And then they leave. They don't even clean up the mess. They don't even take the bodies away. The people they just killed, they leave it there. Let someone else clean that shit up.
Hostages are rescued,
Wow.
and all threats have been neutralized. Well done, SBF and SAF.
Completely different than what we would do here in the United States. Seriously, I mean it too. That's kind of sad. Oh, okay, hold on. Music. A musical. Oh, I see. It's a fireworks display to end the show. Cool. It's a fireworks display to end the whole show. All right. Hear the lion roar. I wonder if the lion is like their national animal, considering it was the Red Lions were the skydiving team at the beginning, right? We definitely know their national colors are red and white. Even sunny side up, it shows a lion. So yeah, lion must be their national animal or mascot or something. Even the fountain is a lion's head. Very inspirational with their music and everything, right? It gets you. You're like, man, it feels so good. Like solidarity and caring for each other and love and peace. Pride in the country. Again, something that here in the United States we really don't have a lot of these days. When I was younger, I feel like we had a lot of it. Today we don't really have it anymore. Now there's so many people against each other and disagreeing with each other, and it's hard to find anyone who's unified for anything these days. In our country, anyway. Yeesh. Crazy fireworks. Pretty cool. I wonder if that was like who's able to attend in person to see that, right? I wonder if it was like political figures or Was there a national lottery to determine who could be there for it in person, or did you have to pay a lot of money to do it? I wonder. Yeah, see, so I think there was a concert there too, like there was music and everything playing, so it wasn't just the military thing and the police thing.
Building up to this, honoring our elite athletes, Team SG, many of them involved in back-to-back competitions.
Athletes.
Representing the country, recently returning from the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice, I will say. Like I said, it's very similar to Independence Day fireworks that we have here every year, once a year. Because we don't have like an anniversary. We have supposedly the anniversary of our independence from England when we became an independent country. Nice camera angles, too. Good direction of the event. Whoa, what's this now?
Performers on stage parting now to make way for the colors of Singapore.
Whoa.
The red and white of our national flag.
Oh, it's the giant national flag being deployed. Look at that.
The crescent moon and 5 stars spreads across the entire stage.
And you would be familiar with it by now. The red symbolizing universal brotherhood and equality.
Oh.
The white signifies pervading and everlasting purity and virtue.
Okay, that's what they stand for.
Representing a young nation on the ascendant. And the 5 stars stand for the nation's ideals of democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality.
Holy crap. That was the payload right there. They dropped the payload. Is that it now? I think that's it. If it is, I'd like to do my final... Oh, no, it's still more. Holy moly, it's not over.
Remain standing as we recite our pledge and sing our anthem.
Oh, this is their national anthem now, finally, to end the show. Okay. What is their national anthem?
We, the citizens of Singapore.
This is their national... This is their Pledge of Allegiance. We have this, too.
Regardless of race, language, or religion.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt it, but... I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I haven't said that since I was probably in elementary school or maybe high school. And I still remember it to this day because it was so ingrained in me from saying it so much when I was a kid. But then when you become an adult, you don't ever say it ever again. So it's kind of similar, although there's a little bit more broad range, like they're talking about how everyone is included, all races and everything. Yeah, look.
Based on justice and
wow, that's way more in depth than ours.
To achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.
Wow, that's very complicated. That's it? Oh, okay, never mind. All right, this is the national anthem now. Okay. Sounds very uplifting. I feel like the American national anthem is sad, but resolute. So I wonder what these lyrics actually mean. I know Slayer sent them to me, but now we're at the end of the video here, so just let it ride. Wow. This guy's crying his eyes out. He's so patriotic. Jeez, even more fireworks. Crazy. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it sounds very uplifting. It's an uplifting anthem. Ours is very... It's weird. Because our national anthem in the United States is essentially what they're saying is, if there was a giant fight, right, and there's supposed to be like a throwback to like the fighting that was happening during the Revolutionary War, that even through all the fighting and everything just being destroyed around you and everything falling apart, that our flag stands resolute and is still there. That no matter what happens, no matter what adversity we face, no matter what combat we have to get through, that our country will still stand at the end of the day. We're not going to be destroyed by anything. That's kind of what our national anthem means. But it's weird because when you listen to the lyrics, it's kind of dark almost, you know? And this sounds way more positive and uplifting of a national anthem. Is there another video? I think there's another video. So let's get... I think this is the last one now. And then, because we're not going to have time to do the K-pop stuff. Oh, wait, is this the K-pop thing? It is. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, sadly, we don't have time for this. If we did have extra time, I would do it. But we are right there at the 90-minute mark. So what I'd like to do is kind of give my thoughts. I mean, definitely what I would say is it's a very similar... This event was a very similar display of, you know, military force. And we do stuff like this here in the United States around our Independence Day that we do once a year, you know, our July 4th. But definitely some of the things that were different. Number one, we don't have our police forces involved whatsoever. Our police forces are not nationalized. They are only via states, and we have, you know, independent states that run them. So those are very different, and you would never see like a police force as part of the big military thing. In addition, we would never have those socioeconomic groups showing up. Like I said, a lot of things in our country, a lot of these major corporations and groups are anti-military, anti-government, you know what I mean? They're actually not for that. And that's what I think one of the biggest things in our country is that we do have a divide right now where we don't have a big showing of like nationwide military or even patriotism. The patriotism has been shattered a lot in our country. There are groups that are still very patriotic and others that are like, no, we hate how things are. It's weird to say the least. Especially these last 7 to 8 years. It's been pretty crazy in that regard. So also, it was very inspirational. Some of the songs there, everything seems positive. Prosperity. Doesn't matter what race you are. We want you to be prosperous. We want you to be safe. We want to protect our people. We want to make sure that we're ready to keep our prosperity going. I don't know necessarily if that's what we talk about that much here in the United States, honestly. A lot of differences there. But that's very interesting. I used to do it once a year, huh? That's pretty nice for once a year to do a big national event like that. That was nice to watch. You know, I don't know much about Singapore, besides the things here or there that I've heard from Slayer tell me or whatever. So that was kind of a nice event. Got a good idea of how things are over there. Of course, I posed some questions. I wonder, you know, about certain things in this event. But that was fun. That was something very, very different, right? Like, I never watch stuff like that or react to anything like that. And that was such a cool... That was exactly the amount right of clips, too, to get through. So thank you, Slayer, and anyone who watched this after the fact. Hopefully, who knows if this will get claimed or blocked on YouTube, right? Who the hell knows? Because YouTube is so weird. You would think something like this would be fine, but who knows? Maybe it'll be claimed and you can't watch it, right? But I hope you do. It's something very different. It's interesting to observe other cultures from a different perspective of where you're from, and to kind of give it, you know, your take. That was very, very. It was educational, inspirational, and entertaining. So thank you, Slayer, always for supporting my efforts of content creation on the internet. And thanks to anyone who might have watched this as well. I hope you enjoyed this live react. Until next time.